We should start with the class. We were talking in the last class oxidizing agent and reducing agent and oxidation reaction and reduction reaction definition we were talking about. Let me recall that. With that, we shall go with the next content. What is to be done? Next, if I want to talk about oxidation reaction. What is oxidation? I can define oxidation reaction in terms of addition of oxygen or loss of hydrogen or loss of electrons. This is an oxidation reaction. When I talk about reduction reaction, addition is a reaction in which there is an addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen or gain of electrons. To keep in mind, I told hydrogen and oxygen go opposite to each other. Hydrogen and electrons go in the same way. Hydrogen and oxygen opposite to each other. Hydrogen and electrons go in the same way. Then, when I talk about oxidation reaction, will it occur on its own? No. I need some person, mediator, to bring out this oxidation. There must be some person to bring about this oxidation we call as an oxidizing agent. To bring about the oxidation reaction, for example, I gave one example, let me write here. Alcohol, CH3CH2OH, on oxidation, K2Cr2O7, I gave an example, this CH3CH2O. What is that? What is removed? Hydrogen is removed. So without this is not possible. So this is the mediator which brings about this oxidation reaction. So the mediator is called as an oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent is a substance which gives all these things. What? Oxidizing agent is a substance which provides oxygen or takes away the hydrogen or takes away the electrons. Or I can say oxidizing agent is a substance which provides oxygen. So from me, oxygen goes out. So minus oxygen, which provides oxygen. So to make it very clear and take oxidizing agent is a substance which provides oxygen, accepts hydrogen, or accepts electron. The substance which brings out this reduction reaction we call as a reducing agent. So reducing agent is a substance. Reducing agent is a substance which reducing agent is a substance which provides hydrogen or accepts oxygen or provides electrons. These are the ways we can define oxidizing agent and reducing agent. Are you clear with the way of defining it in terms of oxygen, in terms of electrons, in terms of hydrogen? If you are clear with this, then we can go for some of the examples. Shall we? My audio is clear? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I'll go. Why we are defining in this all these three forms? Because there are some reactions which undergoes oxidation, but there won't be hydrogen and oxygen. In terms of electrons, you have to go through. For example, iron plus copper chloride is ferrous chloride plus copper. What type of reaction it is? It's a redox reaction. What is a redox reaction? Redox reaction is a reaction in which both oxidation and reduction goes simultaneously. That we call as a redox reaction. Then, you know only in terms of hydrogen and oxygen. Then how am I to deal this? Here, element in what state? Charge on. The element, the charge on iron is 0. What is the charge on iron? This charge comes over here. And how do we write the formula? Iron, charge 2, chlorine, charge 1, crisscross. So FeCl2. That is the way. Here charge is 2 plus, here charge is -1. So 0 to +2. What happened? Electrons are lost. How a cation is formed? Iron has converted into a cation. How a cation is formed? By loss of electrons. Loss of electron is a what reaction? What type of reaction is this when there is a loss of electron?
Oxidation reaction.
Oxidation reaction.
It's an oxidation reaction. If I talk about this copper is in +2, it is in 0. When a cation will convert into an element, cation means what is the meaning for cation? It's of deficient of electrons. So it accepts electron, it converts into a neutral element. So what happens? Here gain of electrons. Loss of oxidation is gain of electron is reduction reaction. Reduction reaction. Then which is an oxidizing agent and which is a reducing agent? This is the oxidation reaction. This reaction is brought down by this substance. Oxidation reaction is brought down by this substance because what has happened? There is a loss of electrons. Electron is lost. There must be someone to accept the electrons. This is the person who has accepted electrons. So I call this is a substance which brings about this oxidation reaction. So I call this as oxidizing agent. This is a reduction reaction. This reduction is being brought out by this element. What is the reduction? Gain of electrons. If I want, then only this happens. If I want to gain electrons, somebody must be there to provide me electrons. Who has provided me electrons? This is the person provided me electrons. So this reduction reaction is brought on by this substance. So we call this as a reducing agent. This is called as a reducing agent. This is called as a reducing agent. So all the four you should know. Oxidation reaction, reduction reaction, oxidizing agent and reducing agent. One more thing also I will say. In an oxidation reaction, the substance gets oxidized, charge is increased. When there is an increase in the charge, we call the substances oxidized. In a reduction reaction, it is +2, the charge is reduced. So I say the substance gets reduced in a reduction reaction. In an oxidation reaction, the substance gets oxidized. What is oxidized? There may be increase in the charge. In a reduction reaction, the substance is reduced. What is my reduced? There may be a decrease in the charge. That's all. Enough. If you know enough this, there is some of the reaction you can do it. Shall I wrap it up?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, ZnO, zinc oxide, plus C gives Zn plus CO. Here oxygen is there, here no oxygen, so oxygen is removed. So I call this as reduction. C, oxygen is added, so I call this as oxidation. This oxidation is brought on by this substance. So this is called as oxidizing agent. This is a reduction reaction. This reduction reaction is brought on by this substance. So carbon is called as a reducing agent. Clear or not? These all the four things you should be very clear with oxidation reduction reaction. This is the thing being asked. Are you clear? If you are clear, means then I go for the next one.
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, shall I pass on to the next part?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, ma. Okay, clear. So this is the thing with respect to oxidation and reduction. Next, we have to talk about corrosion. What is corrosion? This you can see clearly. Corrosion example. Girl children means you people might be seeing silver articles. That only I can say. Silver articles. If you are boys, you might have seen silver articles at your home in the puja room or somewhere. You might have seen. Girls means anklet. You might be using somewhere. You might have seen. Very good example. I can say silver articles. Silver articles. If it is exposure to, however you clean it and keep it, when you use it, after a period of time, you can see a black color deposit is seen on silver articles. Silver is actually silver metal is silvery white. After some days, what you see, the daily you have to wash and clean it means you can keep that maintenance. The silvery white will be there. But once in a week, if you are cleaning means, you can see that after 2 days, you can see that the color gets diminished. Why the color gets diminished? Because the metal is exposed to atmosphere. Atmosphere contains many pollutants. It reacts with the pollutants present in the air. What is the pollutants? Not only pollutants, it reacts with the pollutants also with oxygen in the atmosphere. Some substances react with oxygen in the atmosphere. Some will react with moisture in the atmosphere. Likewise, it reacts to the substance in the atmosphere and get converted into some other salt. And the some other salt will get deposited on the metal. Therefore, when some other substance get deposited on the metal, the shining of the metal get reduced. That is called as corrosion. For example, the well-known metal is gold. You might be seeing your mother, yourself using it. But have you seen that the color get diminished? No. You might, if you get it from the shop, it will be very bright. But if you are after you use it for many days, due to wear and tear, there may be a shining will be reduced. But actually, it has not been corroded because gold and platinum are said to be noble metals. They do not get affected with chemicals very easily. But if I say magnesium, when we started with the class, magnesium ribbon. Magnesium ribbon is silvery white. When you get it from the shop, from the laboratory, if you get it, magnesium ribbon will be silvery white. But after it is being kept, after usage, you cannot store. However, you store also, magnesium is highly reactive. It reacts with the moisture it reacts with the oxygen in the atmosphere to form magnesium oxide. Magnesium is silvery white. Magnesium oxide is a white powder, will get deposited on the metal. So that when something gets deposited on the metal, the shining of the metal gets decreased. That is called corrosion. What is corrosion? Degradation of the metal. Metal gets degraded. Degradation of the metal on exposure to degradation of the metal on exposure to air, oxygen, moisture, or any other chemicals is called as corrosion. Degradation of the metal on exposure to air, oxygen, or any other chemicals, moisture is called as corrosion. When this corrosion, when the degradation takes place in iron, we specifically call by the word called rusting. When it is explicitly takes place in iron, we call that as rusting. Rusting, why so typical rusting? Only what we do, we paint the iron articles. Iron, we have grills, we have windows, or most are made up of iron. We often paint it. Why? In order to avoid this corrosion. Iron easily get corroded when it is in the presence of moist oxygen. Moisture also should be there, oxygen is also should be there. Therefore, you can see iron gets easily corroded in rainy season rather than in summer season. Summer, oxygen is there. Moisture content is very less, so corrosion is very slow. But in the winter season, corrosion takes place very high. Moisture is high, so it easily get corroded. When the corrosion takes place in iron, we call the word called rusting. One more example also I can say, copper vessels. If you people are using copper vessels, I'm not talking about brass. I'm talking about pure copper vessel. If a copper vessel is not daily, if you clean it, nothing will be happening. It will maintain its shining forever. But when you keep it aside for some time without cleaning, you can see a green patches on copper vessel. Green patches on copper vessel. That is also due to corrosion. So when silver turning into green in color, silver is silvery white. It turns into black in color. It's due to silver sulfide. The black color that you see on silver is silver sulfide because it reacts with hydrogen sulfide from the atmosphere. It reacts with hydrogen sulfide in the atmosphere and to form silver sulfide. The silver sulfide is black in color. This only you see a black deposit you see on silver articles when you don't wash it daily. Similarly, copper vessels, daily it is not being washed. Daily it is not being washed. You can see a green color deposit or seen is there. The green color deposit is due to reaction with carbon dioxide and water from the atmosphere. You get copper carbonate and copper hydroxide, so like a double salt it will be. The mixture is responsible for green color formation on copper. Copper carbonate dot copper hydroxide. This is reason for the green color on copper vessel. Iron not only reacts with water and also reacts with oxygen. It reacts with oxygen in the presence of water. If iron is exposed only to oxygen, no corrosion. Only water, no corrosion. It has to be subjected to moist oxygen. Oxygen also should be there. Then moisture also should be there. Then it forms iron oxide. It is nothing but Fe2O3 dot X2O. That is called as rust. That is called as rust. Actually, why I am writing X6H2O means that X6H2O is not known to us. How many water molecules are being reacted with iron is not known. So only we indicate by X2O. Yes. So only we take this is called as rust. Reddish, that is will be the rust will be of reddish color. Fe2O3 dot X2O. These are the things. Magnesium, I can say magnesium is silvery white. On reaction with oxygen that must form magnesium oxide. It forms a white powder over a magnesium silvery white. These are example of corrosion. Whereas when it takes place this iron, we call this as rusting. Is corrosion mostly corrosion is an advantage or a disadvantage? In certain metals it's a disadvantage, in certain metals it's an advantage. How? When it happens here, the quality of the metal gets degraded. Here, iron, if it allows to corrode it, then iron becomes, if you're in your grill or in your building, if iron fittings are there, if it gets corroded, what happens? It gets worn out. So in order to avoid that only, what we do, we paint and keep it, that is, we are doing maintenance as painting. If there is, you can see people see maintaining it. If there is any patches over there, the paint has been removed and the iron is being exposed to atmosphere, that place will get easily corroded. What the other people will do? They put sandpaper and remove it, and that in that place they will paint it, so that further corrosion can be avoided. Why? If it allows to be corroded, the quality of the metal gets lowered. It gets worn out. To avoid that, we are using, we are painting it. But in some cases, it is an advantage. In which metal it is an advantage? In aluminium, corrosion is an advantage. How? Aluminium reacts with oxygen to form aluminium oxide. Zinc also immediately reacts with oxygen to form zinc oxide. This corrosion of this metal is advantage. How? This metal oxide gets in magnesium oxide also. This metal oxide gets covered over the metal. Thereby, further reaction of the metal is being avoided. In this metal, corrosion is an advantage. Why? Because they form this compound. Aluminium reacts with oxygen to form aluminium oxide. Zinc reacts with oxygen to form zinc oxide. Magnesium reacts with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. These oxides form a covering over the metal. Thereby, it forms a covering. Thereby, further reaction of the metal is being avoided. So the quality of the metal is being preserved. So in these metals, it's an advantage. Whereas in iron and other metals, it acts as a disadvantage. So only so if it is iron articles or some other articles, means what they do, they take much care in maintenance. So iron gets easily corroded, quality of the metal gets easily degraded. But silver, copper and all, it will not get that much easily degraded. It slowly does. But immediately you can see this is in a very shorter period of time, you can see this in iron. Corrosion, that is rusting in iron is very faster. Immediately it lowers the quality of the metal. But that is in other cases it takes place, but the rate of the reaction is very, very slow. Next I can say, then how can I prevent corrosion? That you study again in metals and non-metals. But you know, how can we prevent corrosion? One by, you can do painting. Next, oiling. Next, what I can do? Anodizing. Anodizing means what happens means you coat the metal with another metal. Iron is coated with another metal, so that which is more reactive. Which is more reactive means it reacts and forms another covering, so that further reaction of the metal is avoided. That is called as anodizing. Next is chrome plating. You plate the metal with chromium. That is called chrome plating. Next, galvanization. What is galvanization? You coat the metal with zinc. Zinc is less, because I told you, in zinc, corrosion is an advantage. So zinc immediately reacts to form zinc oxide. The zinc oxide will act as a protective cover over the metal. Understand? When you coat with zinc, we call as galvanization. When you coat with chromium, we call as chrome plating. Most of your doors, handles will be of white in color. Some will be very bright, it will be like silver. It is not actually silver. It is nothing but titanium and chromium. Chromium and titanium metals are very stronger. So it gives shining appearance and it won't get easily corroded. That's the reason we are using chrome. That is, it gives a shining appearance and also you won't get corroded, and the handle also will be very hard. Chrome plating. Anodizing means, that is, you might have seen, very good example I can say. Anodizing means taking a metal with another metal. For example, Vellore temple, you know, famous Vellore temple. They say that Tanga Koyil will say that. It is not exactly Tangam. Actually, it is a copper plate. Over copper, gold is being plated. It is called as electroplating process. Electroplating process, that's, you put, because if I want to make with gold, means I need more amount of money. And if you do also, all people are not very good people. So what they will do? They will steal away the whole thing. So what they do? They take iron, over iron they plate it with gold. So amount of money required to plate gold is very, very less. Money spent is also less. and it's also being saved, money saved. That is the purpose we are doing it. That is called anodizing. These are the ways we can prevent corrosion. Next is, that's all regarding. Next is rancidity. What is rancidity? Rancidity is oxidation of oil or fat is called rancidity. Oxidation of oil or fat. Corrosion also I can say is nothing but oxidation only. Aluminium, metal only getting reacting. So corrosion also is a very good example of oxidation I can say. What in corrosion, what you are talking of? Iron reacts with other substance to get metal, reacts with oxygen or any other chemicals to convert into a corresponding compound. So there the metal is getting oxidized. So corrosion is also an example of oxidation reaction. Rancidity. Rancidity is also an example of oxidation reaction. What happens in rancidity? Oil or fat. Fat and oil are almost the same only. Oil or fat is being oxidized, is called as rancidity. The process of oxidation of oil or fat is called as rancidity. That you can see very well. Where? If your ghee, butter, however you preserve your ghee and butter, however you preserve very properly with much care, each food items have only certain shelf life. What is shelf life means? It can be if you get any things from the shop, even though the good quality thing you get from the shop, they will give the expiry date will be given. Expiry date. Why they are giving the expiry date is it can retain its purity only to that extent. Use before 6 months, use before 3 months, because the care is taken in such a way, they add preservative and that care is taken so that the food will be maintain its quality only for 6 months. After that, there will be a possibility of getting worms or get degraded. That is a possibility there. So best before 6 months, that expiring date will be given for any food items. But now this is for the whatever the food items is being sold, it is on normal conditions. But there are some food items when you can see your mother when she gets from the shop, we used to prepare in the refrigerator certain items. Butter, ghee, and all people use butter and all people store in the fridge so that it don't get spoiled very easily. But they would have given shelf life as 1 month. But if you keep it in the fridge, maintain at lower temperature, you can 1 month they are giving means you can keep it for 10 more days extra you can have. Beyond that you cannot have. You can see some smells, rotten smell comes out. The rotten smell coming out from the oil, butter, ghee, such type of substance is called as rancidity. Rancidity. Even though you keep it, how much care you keep it, after a period of time, you can see that some smell comes out. That is called as a rancidity. Even though nothing worms, nothing algae, nothing will be there, but it will smell differently. The smell itself tells you that it is not good for health. What would have happened? The food is getting oxidized by absorbing oxygen from the atmosphere because you are often opening and closing means oxygen get into the substance and the substance get oxidized. Then when the substance get oxidized, you get the foul smell. The foul smell tells you that rancidity has happened and the substance has become rancid. The substance has become rancid. The substance has become rancid means it creates some foul smell. Ghee not used for a long time means then you can see when you open it, you will get a bad smell. Even the fried item, murukku, whatever the savory, whatever the chaat item, savories, however you fried in the fresh oil, however your mother prepares it, however you keep it in an airtight container, you can store it if it's a very good oil and it is stored in airtight container. You are taking much care. It means maximum 20 days you can have. Beyond that, you can see when you open it, even though you kept it much care, but now and then when you are eating, you take away, air goes inside. And after some days, you can see that smell will differ. The smell itself tells you that rancidity has taken place. The substance has become rancid. Rancid means started to stink, foul smell, give foul smell. This process is called as a rancidity. To avoid rancidity, what should we do? We should keep in an air, because which is trying to bring out this rancidity, only oxygen is bringing out the rancidity. So to avoid, so that if I want to preserve it for a better way, means what I have to do? I have to avoid the reaction of oxygen, so that it should be kept in an airtight container. How long you can keep? Only for a certain period of time. That's what I'm telling you. If you take much care, the shelf life can be extended. Now, only extended to a certain amount. So, only you can say your mother prefers something. She will say that this will be available for only these much days. Please eat. Get the things done. So otherwise, it will get spoiled. Yes. And you might have a very good example, I can say. Nitrogen is a very good protector. How? You might have seen in all your chips items, there where what is being stored, nitrogen is stored. Nitrogen doesn't react. So nitrogen given the inert atmosphere doesn't allow oxygen to come and react. So the freshness of the food is being maintained. That also don't ask question. That also can be maintained only a certain period of time. Beyond that, it's not, even though you can say there is no air, nothing, all will have minute pores will be there. There will be oxygen passing through, but the movement of oxygen into the wrapper will be very, very slow. So what happened at a particular, after some days, you can see the smell, even though the packet is not being opened. If it is a old packet, means once you open and see the chips, if you eat the chips, it will have a different smell. But you can, by using nitrogen, I can extend the life to a certain extent. That's all. Understand or not? So by giving an atmosphere of nitrogen, I can prevent this oxidation. Why? Nitrogen is less reactive. So we can use oxygen to prevent the oxidation. So rancidity and corrosion also an example of oxidation reaction. With that, the chapter is over. Do you first let us check with your doubts, then I will go, the questions are given at the back of the chapter. Students, have you any doubt so far what we have discussed? Akash, do you have any doubt? Then we shall go to the questions given at the back of the chapter. Akash?
Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Any doubt?
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Okay, tell me, what is the doubt?
Ma'am, these substances react with oxygen, so only it's rancidity, no, ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, if we keep these substances in a room of like a nitrogen, means it will be preserved.
That one is your example. Your chips packet is there. Chips packet, what is your Lay's chips? This is comes in a bulky little hearts. Little hearts packet. You are saying it will be fluffy. The fluffiness is due because they have nitrogen inside it. However, you keep nitrogen inside, you can increase the shelf life. That is also for 1 month. Beyond 1 or 2 months, what happens? It happens. How? Even though the packet is complete closed, each substance has some minute pores into it. Oxygen movement will be inside takes place, but it takes place at a slower rate. So rancidity will happen. But the rancidity happens at a slow rate. That's all.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Pujita?
Ma'am?
Any doubt, ma'am?
No, ma'am. No doubts.
Okay. Amrita?
No doubts, ma'am.
Amsini?
No doubts, ma'am.
Okay. Niranjan?
No doubts, ma'am.
No doubts. Amsini, Niranjan. Then I'm not able to see the name. Wait. Sandhya?
No doubts, ma'am.
Nirupama?
No doubts, ma'am.
Ovia?
No doubts, ma'am.
Pillai?
No doubts, ma'am.
Okay, let me go to the questions at the back of the chapter. Let page number, you take page number. That is, let me do the all the interest questions that is given in the chapter book. Are you having your textbook by your side or not?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Question, page number 4 we have done. Do you remember that?
Ma'am, we have to do page number 13, ma'am.
Page number. That is 6 I have done, I am telling. All it's 8, 9, everything I have done. Then 10 also I have done, I remember. Then I have to do only 30. Why does the color of copper sulfate solution change when an iron nail is dipped in it? Now tell me who can do. Now Amrita. Amrita will answer. Amrita,
Yes, ma'am.
tell me the answer. Why does the color of copper sulfate solution change when an iron nail is dipped in it?
Ma'am, it reacts with
It and all you should not say. It means what is it? When you use it,
Ma'am, I can't hear you properly, ma'am.
then you will say it.
Copper sulfate reacts with iron to form iron sulfate and copper. No.
Let's see. I'm writing. What does the color change when copper sulfate is when treated with an iron nail? Tell me. What do you get it?
Iron sulfate plus copper.
Why the reaction occurs?
Ma'am, it's a displacement reaction.
I didn't ask what is the type of reaction. Why the reaction occurs? Here,
Ma'am, iron, the reactivity.
When the question asked, read the question, the way the question asked in your text, in your question paper. Even you can write what is not asked. It's a waste of time for you. But you should be very clear in answering what is being asked. That is very important. She told that displacement reaction. I didn't ask that question. You have written means that is adequate, but you have not asked, you have not answered my question. So please read the question and answer it to the question.
Iron is more reactive than copper. So iron replaces copper in copper sulfate. It turns.
It replaces copper from copper sulfate solution.
From, okay, ma'am.
Understand? That is
Yes,
it. But what is the question we have now?
It turns green.
The copper sulfate solution turns into green. Next
Green.
step. Next step. They ask what is the color of copper sulfate solution. Okay. Then what do you observe? When the color of the copper sulfate solution turn into green, then what do you observe? What one more observation is also you will see. What is that?
Copper is precipitate.
What is the color of copper?
Brown, reddish brown.
Reddish brown. You will see a reddish brown deposit on
the iron nail.
These are the two observations. Good. Next step. Give an example of double displacement reaction other than one given in activity. Any example you can give. Okay. Now third question. Nirupama. Nirupama.
Yes, ma'am.
Now Na plus O2 gives Na2O. Name the substance that is oxidized. Name the substance that reduced. Name the substance that oxidized. Then how do I find out the substance which undergoes oxidation will get oxidized? Na plus O2 gives Na2O. I will back to it first. Okay. Now tell me, which substance get oxidized? The one which undergoes oxidation reaction is getting oxidized. Identify the substances that are oxidized and the substances that are reduced. Which get oxidized?
Na,
it is zero. Na2. Na only you have to write. This under coefficient that is not required for us. Na.
No, ma'am, the other side.
Which is oxide. You have to talk about the reactant. You are not talking about the product. Your Na is in +1. So which is getting oxidized? Sodium is oxidized. Sodium is oxidized. Which is get reduced?
Oxygen is reduced.
Oxygen is reduced. Understand the concept. I can say what reaction it is. Oxidation. Same thing, only it undergoes. Which one? Reduction. The substance which undergoes oxidation is oxidized. The substance which undergoes reduction is being reduced. Oxygen reduced to Na2O. Na is oxidized to Na2O. Nirupama, understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Next step. CuO plus H2 gives Cu plus H2O. Hamsini.
Yes, ma'am.
Answer me. Which is oxidized and which is reduced?
Ma'am, hydrogen is oxidized.
Hydrogen is oxidized. Very good.
Copper is reduced.
Hey, copper is reduced. Ma, this is
Ma'am, CuO, ma'am. CuO.
How you say copper? CuO is reduced.
Copper oxide. Copper oxide is reduced.
Which is an oxidation reaction? Hamsini, you should tell me which is an oxidation reaction. Identify the oxidation reaction.
Ma'am,
which is an oxidation reaction?
H2O.
H2 to H2O is oxidation. Which is a reduction reaction?
CuO to Cu.
It's a reduction reaction. Which is an oxidizing agent?
Ma'am, oxidizing agent is H2.
Hey. H2 is being oxidized to H2O. It's an oxidation reaction. To bring out this oxidation reaction, I need
Cu. Cu, ma'am.
Cu you told. Cu is here. CuO. Therefore, this is an oxidation reaction. Therefore, this is an oxidizing agent. Which is the reduction reaction? Reducing agent. Which is the reducing agent?
H2O.
H2O. Which is the reducing? Which is the reducing agent? Okay. This is the reduction reaction. This reduction reaction is brought down by whom?
H2.
Which is the reducing agent?
H2.
Now you can see. Reducing agent gets oxidized during the reaction. Reducing agent gets oxidized during the reaction. Oxidizing agent gets reduced in the reaction. Reducing agent gets oxidized in the reaction. Oxidizing agent gets reduced in the reaction.
Okay, ma'am.
Shall we pass on to the exercise? Questions are given at the back of the chapter. Now, which of the following statements about the reaction below given are incorrect? That and all objective type, you can do it. 9. I'm going for question number 9. What does one mean by exothermic and endothermic? Give one example that you know we have done. Why is respiration considered as an exothermic reaction that you know that we have many times discussed in the class itself? Why are decomposition called the opposite of combination reaction? That also I told in the class. You have to write down the definition and you have to give the example. That's all. Write one equation each for decomposition reaction where energy is supplied in the form of heat, light, and electricity. For heat, how many you have to? For heat, 3 decomposition reactions are there. One is ferrous sulfate decomposition, calcium carbonate decomposition. Next, calcium carbonate decomposition, ferrous sulfate decomposition, lead nitrate. This is heat. Light means AgCl light, AgBr light. Electricity means water, electricity. H2 plus O2. Whenever you write the equation, it should be a balanced chemical equation. What is the difference between displacement and double displacement reaction? You write equations for these. You have to explain. What is displacement? A highly reactive metal replaces a low reactive metal from its compound. Is called as a displacement reaction. Double displacement and when two reactants exchange their ions and results in the formation of the product, then that reaction is called as a double displacement reaction. Write equation, give an example and do that. In the refining of silver, the recovery of silver from silver nitrate solution involved displacement of copper metal. Write down the reaction. Displacement of copper metal. So silver nitrate, formula for silver nitrate, AgNO3. Ag plus nitrate is 1. Then you use copper. Copper is more reactive than silver. That we have already seen in the reactivity series. Copper plus silver nitrate. What will happen? Copper is more reactive than silver. It displaces silver from its compound. So copper nitrate. What is the formula for copper nitrate? Copper charge always 2. Nitrate is 1. This cross. So the formula is NO3, Cu, NO3 twice plus Ag. Now I have to balance it. That's all. This is the way we write the equation. What do you mean by a precipitation reaction? In a double displacement reaction, if one of the substance obtained as an insoluble substance which is precipitated, then that reaction is called as a precipitation reaction. What is a precipitation reaction? In a double displacement reaction, if one of the product is insoluble in water, then the insoluble substance will be precipitated. Then that reaction is called as a precipitation reaction. Then you can write down, we are very famous is barium chloride and sodium sulfate. Next is lead nitrate and potassium iodide that you have to keep in mind. Write the following terms of gain or loss of oxygen with 2 examples of oxidation reduction that you can do. A shiny brown colored element X on heating in air becomes black in color. That is nothing but shiny means copper. Black color means copper reacts with oxygen to form copper oxide. Copper oxide, cuprous oxide, that is Cu2O, but is black color is Cu2O only. Sorry, Cu, sorry. Copper oxide 2, this is black in color. Name the element copper and the black color compound is copper oxide. Why do we apply paint on iron articles? To avoid rusting. Iron articles they are clean. So you can say specifically to avoid rusting. Oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Why? Nitrogen is less reactive. So it acts as a protective cover for the foodstuff and doesn't allow oxygen to come and react with the foodstuff. Otherwise, I can say nitrogen doesn't react. It's an inert gas. So it doesn't allow rancidity to happen. Likewise, also you can write down. Explain the following terms with one example each: corrosion and rancidity. That's all. Any doubt regarding this chapter? That's all. Whatever I want to tell from the content of first chapter, that is over. Now you tell me if you want to. The next chapter we can do it in the next class. Now if you have any doubt or anything, that you can use this time for clarifying your doubts. Next chapter we can do it in the next class. Any doubt, ma? Any doubt? Nobody is opening the mouth. Any doubt?
No doubts, ma'am.
No doubts, ma'am.
No doubts. This multiple choice questions are done. You know, only 3 questions are there that you will do on your own. Clear? Okay. So this is over. When you will take up a test in the first chapter. It's a simple chapter. Very shortly, you can expect the test to happen, ma. So start preparing. How many chapters they have completed in your school in chemistry, ma? How many
Ma'am,
chapters?
in DAV Velacheri, they have completed 2 chapters, ma'am.
DAV Velacheri has completed 2 chapters,
They started third chapter also, ma'am.
They started third chapter. You metals and non-metals,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You are going very fast.
Ma'am, in Sunshine, they've completed 3, ma'am.
Anybody other than DAV?
Ma'am, in Sunshine, they've completed 3.
Yes, ma'am. In Sunshine, 3 chapters completed, ma'am.
Wow. Which Sunshine? You are from which Sunshine, ma'am?
Velacheri, ma'am.
Velacheri, ma'am.
Okay. 3 chapters completed. We are slow. Okay, let me do the second chapter in the next class. Any doubt in the first chapter? If you don't have doubt or anything, we can wind up the class. So that if you have doubt, you can ask me, then I will clarify it. Now, understood how you define display? Sandhya, let us do the definition for all types of chemical reaction and then we shall wind up. That is enough for me. What is it? Well, let us quick, we can have a brush up and move. Ovia, unmute yourself, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What is an oxidizing agent?
The reaction in which there's a loss, there's an increase in the electrons.
Kana, I said, what is an oxidizing agent?
The process in which oxygen is added to a substance.
Oxidizing agent is not the process. Agent, who is the agent? It is a mediator.
Mediator.
Agent is a substance. How you define an oxidizing agent? I did not ask oxidation reaction. I asked what is an oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent is a substance which brings about the oxidation reaction by providing oxygen or gaining hydrogen or accepting electrons. What is a reducing agent? Reducing agent is a substance which brings about the reduction reaction. How? By providing hydrogen or by donating electrons or accepting oxygen. What is an oxidizing agent which brings about the oxidation reaction? Reducing agent is a substance which brings about the reduction reaction. Ovia.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Nirupama, unmute yourself. What is meant by redox reaction? Nirupama.
Yes, ma'am.
What is meant by redox reaction? What is meant by redox reaction? Redox.
Ma'am, repeat the question again. You're breaking.
What is meant by redox reaction?
It is a type of chemical reaction which oxidized
It's a reaction in which both oxidation
and reduction take place in the same reaction.
Simultaneous. The word is very important. Or go hand in hand. A reaction in which both oxidation and reduction occur simultaneously. Or occur go hand in hand. That word is very important. Occur simultaneously or go hand in hand. Hand in hand means simultaneously goes on. Then only the reaction is called as a redox reaction. Next, Hamsini.
Yes, ma'am.
What is meant by double displacement reaction?
Ma'am, in a reaction, there is an interchange of ions between the two reactants to form the product. It is known as double displacement.
Very good. Then what is the precipitation reaction? Hamsini, you is a continuum.
Yes, ma'am. In the reaction, an insoluble substance is formed as the product, which is known as a
you have to mention. In the double displacement reaction, if one of the product is an insoluble substance obtained as a precipitate, then the reaction is called as a
precipitation reaction.
Very good. Okay, next, Pujita.
Ma'am.
Pujita.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. What is a displacement reaction?
In a chemical reaction, when a more reactive element displaces a less reactive metal, it is called displacement reaction.
Displaces a less reactive metal from where? From my house or from my house?
From its solution, ma'am.
From its compound.
Okay, ma'am.
That has to be mentioned. Understand? It displaces from where it displaces. That has to be mentioned. The highly reactive metal displaces a low reactive metal from its
compound.
Or from its aqueous solution.
Okay, ma'am.
From its salt solution. That has to be specified. Yes. Next day. Akash.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me the what is maybe reactivity series?
Ma'am, arrangement of metals in the decreasing order of the reactivity.
Very good. Do you know the metals arrangement? Start.
Potassium, sodium, magnesium.
Magnesium, calcium.
Aluminium, zinc.
Iron,
lead.
Copper.
Copper, silver.
Mercury.
Gold and platinum.
Silver, gold, platinum. Above copper, what you have?
Hydrogen.
That reactive series should be thorough enough. Akash.
Okay, ma'am.
Next. Sandhya.
Yes, ma'am.
What is meant by decomposition reaction?
Ma'am, decomposition is a reaction when a compound is broken down into two or more simpler elements or compounds.
Simpler elements or compounds. Very good. Next.
By the application of heat, light, or energy.
Or heat, energy you should, electricity you should say. Heat is also an energy. Light is also energy. Got it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So heat energy or electrical energy or light energy. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next. Who I did not ask? Almost I covered everyone. I think so. Pujita, Satish, Akash, Amrita, Hamsini, Niranjan, Nirupama. I have asked everyone. Niranjan, tell me what is maybe combination reaction?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, when two or more elements or compounds combines to form a single product.
Combine, don't use the word. Don't use the word combine. Two or more elements or compounds
reacts to form a single compound or product is called combination reaction.
Repeat. I didn't listen. Sorry. Repeat it. Repeat it, ma. Repeat the combination reaction.
Okay, ma'am. When two or more elements or compounds reacts to form a single product is called combination
single product.
reaction.
Yes, absolutely right. Okay. Any doubt? With that, I'm winding up. You're in this particular chapter, you should know to balance the chemical reaction. There is one more way the question will be asked. I'm asking one question. You tell me. Take the rough note by your side. Lead nitrate is when lead nitrate is treated with potassium iodide, what do you observe? When lead nitrate is treated with potassium iodide, what do you observe? Number one. Next step. What do you observe? Then what type of reaction does it belong to? Raise up your hand, so I'll ask only that particular person.
Ma'am, can I answer?
Who is that?
Ma'am, can I?
Wait, Hamsini has raised up. Hamsini has raised up. Wait, I will give the chance to Hamsini. Later I will. Hamsini, tell me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Lead nitrate reacts with potassium iodide to form potassium iodide and lead iodide and potassium nitrate.
What do you observe? What is the answer for that? What do you observe?
Displacement reaction.
What do you observe? Wait, I will ask, give the chance for next person. Pujita, Sadiq.
Ma'am, a precipitate is formed, ma'am.
What precipitate? A yellow precipitate is
Yellow
formed.
precipitate is formed, ma'am.
See here, students, listen to me. When I ask, what do you observe? I am mixing the two. Any color change, any heat energy is given out, any gas evolved, that is the observation. Hamsini,
Okay,
understand?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
What do you observe? Similarly, barium chloride and sodium sulfate. What do you observe? Yeah, white precipitate is formed. Calcium carbonate on heating. What do you observe? A gas evolving out is observed. Evolution of gas being observed. The gas is said to be carbon dioxide. You can test it. What do you observe when calcium oxide is treated with water? Anybody can tell? What do you observe when calcium oxide is treated with water?
Calcium hydroxide.
Calcium hydroxide is formed.
What do you? I asked. What do you observe?
Heat.
Heat is
evolved.
Heat is evolved. Heat is evolved. Next, one more thing. A suspension of calcium hydroxide is obtained. Suspension is what? Insoluble in water. Calcium oxide is a solid. Water is transparent liquid. When they mix together, when the reaction undergoes, heat energy is given out. 1. And a suspension of calcium hydroxide is obtained. Clear? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Next day, Sandhya.
Okay, ma'am.
Sandhya.
Yes, ma'am.
When lead nitrate salt is heated, what do you observe?
Ma'am, a brownish substance is precipitate is formed.
Hey, a brown color? Think on and tell me. When lead nitrate is heated, what do you observe?
Ma'am, reddish brown fumes.
Reddish brown fumes. NO2 evolved is observed. One observation. Next step. Next step. What do you observe?
Oxygen is
oxygen gas is colorless that you cannot see. NO2 also will come. O2 also will come. NO2 is reddish brown so that you cannot see oxygen gas coming out.
Ma'am, lead oxide is formed.
Lead oxide, how do you know lead oxide is formed? Lead nitrate is also colored. Lead oxide, that is one, when I told one observation. Pujita Satish, she has raised her hand. What do you observe, ma'am?
Ma'am, I forgot to lower my hand, ma'am.
You didn't lower your hand. When I was heating, I told.
Ma'am, can I?
That is lead oxide. What is the speciality of lead oxide? When I was teaching the class, I told. Speciality of lead oxide. Akash?
Ma'am, when it is hot, it is yellow in color, ma'am.
Very good. When it is cold, it is?
Colorless.
Yeah. That is the observation. Then, when you heat ferrous sulfate, what do you observe? When you heat ferrous sulfate, Niranjan. When you heat ferrous sulfate, what do you observe? Niranjan.
Ma'am, we will get ferric
when
oxide.
You heat ferrous sulfate, what do you observe?
Ma'am, we will get ferric oxide.
Hey, ferric oxide varudallam apdi sollakudadha. What do you observe now? I am telling again and again. There will be a evolution of gas, formation of a precipitate, color change of the solid. Those things are the observation.
Ma'am, evolution of gas.
Evolution of gas. The gases SO2, SO3 both are colorless. You cannot observe, but they are having irritating smell.
Okay, ma'am.
Get a gas evolved with burning sulfur smell. Understand or not? SO2 and SO3 are evolved with burning sulfur smell. One net. Next observation, what do you observe? Ferrous sulfate is green in color. Green color salt is converted into
brown.
That word should be given. Brown color ferric oxide Fe2O3. Just like that, you cannot say ferric oxide is formed. How do you know ferric oxide? What do you observe? Observe now what you have to say. A color change, formation of precipitate, evolution of colorful gases, or smell, heat energy given out. These are the things help you to identify the color, chemical change. What do you observe now? What are the color changes? What are the things you observe is what do you observe? Then they will ask, write down the chemical equation. Whether they ask you to write or not, you are supposed to write down the chemical equation for all the reactions. That is being asked. But if what do you observe, I ask means, what do you observe when you heat ferrous sulfate means, SO2, SO3 are produced means we won't give mark. SO2 and SO3 are produced with the burning sulfur smell. Ferrous sulfate, which is green in color, converted into red, into brown color Fe2O3. That is called observation. Understood or not? Students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So now
ma'am.
you are very clear how to read the chapter. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
How to read the chapter, the way the question will be asked. This is the way the question will be asked. So there will be sub points. You have to answer each question. Then only marks will be full marks. You will be getting it. Understand the concept? So be thorough with the content. Then you take up a test. Be ready for the test very shortly. In the next class, I will start with the second chapter. Are you clear now with how to go ahead with how to read the first chapter, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Start learning. Okay. Okay, ma. I'm winding up the class. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I'm ending up the class. Take care.